Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chatham House. Just keep an eye on the sound. I hear a little bit of a ring on it. Welcome to Chatham House. I'm Robin Niblett, the director of the Institute. It's a very great pleasure to be able to welcome you all here today. This is an Africa Program event that we're delighted to host here at the Institute. And as you know, we're going to be discussing Somalia, building stability and peace. And it really is my very great pleasure to welcome the Prime Minister, His Excellency Cumar Rashid Cali Sharmaarke, here to Chatham House. Let me just say a couple of quick things before I complete my introductions. Could you please make sure you have your mobile phone switched off? Prime Minister, I'm warning you as well, that your mobile phone, I know you're taking calls all the time. Also, please, as I said, make sure your mobile phone's switched off. This meeting is on the record. And we will have an opportunity to hear from the Prime Minister, and then we will have an opportunity for question and answer, and we will be able to have a proper discussion at that point. The first thing I wanted to say, while welcoming the Prime Minister, is that we're conscious also that we have a great audience here of Somalis who we've had the opportunity to work with at Chatham House. Chatham House has been working on the Horn of Africa for a good 3, nearly 4 years now, under the leadership of our independent expert and associate fellow Sally Healy, with the support and also great contributions of Roger Middleton. So on behalf of Tom Cargill, Alex Fines and all, we'd like to thank both them for the work they've been doing on this area. And also, as I said, wanted to make a specific point that the engagement we have with the Somali community here in London internationally has been especially helpful. You're going to be contributing as much to the future of Somalia as those in Somalia will do themselves as well. And we look forward to continuing to be able to work with you over the coming months and years. As I think most of you know, the Prime Minister actually comes from a distinguished political lineage, if I may say so, Prime Minister, having been the son of the second President and first Prime Minister of Somalia. He took up his position in February of this year. He was educated at Carleton University in Ottawa. He has his degrees in political science and political economy. He has worked with the UN, diplomatic missions for the UN in Sri Lanka and Sierra Leone in particular, but also working as an advisor on the Darfur conflict. And prior to taking his position as Prime Minister, he was the Somalian ambassador designate to the United States. Prime Minister, we know that you face in your country some incredibly difficult challenges, which are reported hugely in the news here in the UK, but internationally as well. We look forward to hearing your remarks. We look forward to being able to discussing the kind of ideas that we can all do to try to help you and your government bring stability to your country, and a stability which I think carries implications far beyond your country. We appreciate you taking the time coming to join us. We look forward to your remarks.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister. Thank you for those remarks. I take away, I think, a number of important points from your comments here. Number one, you commented right at the beginning about the extreme level of violence that continues to operate not only in your country, but obviously is also affecting directly what your government can and cannot do on a daily basis. And the arrival, as you said, of suicide bombings as one of the features is especially troubling and worrying in that sense. You mentioned, secondly, some comments about Al-Shabaab and the definition of control, who controls what. And I noticed your comment that their ability to control is one based on violence that a small number of people can do. And the government's ability for control is something that requires really an integrated approach that is far more complex to sustain. You also noted the concerns about the regional ambitions of Al-Shabaab and Al-Qaeda in the region. That's something we might come back to in terms of the questions it draws in Yemen and other countries as well. You talked quite a bit about development and the development plans that your government has for the country. And I think the way I took it, your reference to piracy, which, as you said, you do not want to have dominate the entire debate about Somalia, but you did put it in a very different context, which is the context as well of the huge amount of illegal fishing that goes on off the coast of your country. And I might add around many other good points in your remarks, but I just wanted to draw those out. Maybe they'll serve for some of the discussion that we can have now. We have a good half an hour for questions. If you could please let us know who you are when you pose a question. Try and keep it short and make it a question rather than a treatise or a comment. There are microphones around the room which will be brought to you. But who would like to come in first and take a first question? I see one here, then I have two questions there. But the gentleman here first. Sorry, the back row with the glasses. Back row. No, come forward. There you go. I'll get you so in a minute.
Known as Xildiidtv. I've been living here in London since 2001, and I'm author of the different books. And I would like to ask the Prime Minister, is it true, Mr. Prime Minister, that the members of your government, or otherwise former members of Somali governments and former Somali warlords, has given access to the companies and the companies and the government is illegally fishing the Somali waters? Though I understand the actions of the parties cannot be justified by any means. That's my question, sir. Thank you.
And one more question here in front. We'll take another group back there. I think I've got everyone's hands. Yes.
The second question was
The fishing issue, Kimberley's fishing, I think.
Yeah, I don't know whether this fishing issue is before our government has actually corrected. To my knowledge, I think we haven't actually issued any fishing license since it came. Actually, one of the reasons I'm going to Brussels tomorrow is to discuss these issues. I think to have the naval force that actually now are guarding and protecting in the food trade, to also have a mandate to protect our exclusive economic zones. I think we want to seek an agreement with the EU to protect until our coast guards will be ready to actually protect its own economic exclusive zone.